Kicks and Kicks is the only talk show that meets your sneaker and martial arts needs. I'm your host, Jacko, and today I'm talking to sneakerhead and retro gamer, the QA Ninja, also known as Nathan. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, nice to have me on board. I appreciate you. Nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. Like I was saying, seem like a busy guy. We've had a few dates that we've gone through to try and get you on, so I really appreciate you
Yeah,
giving up some of your time to come on and talk. It should be good.
definitely.
Yeah. So like I said, you're a gamer. You're also a sneakerhead. That's kind of how I know you is from Twitter and stuff. You're always
Yeah.
posting your kicks on Twitter and everything. What is it like being a gamer and a sneakerhead? Is there much crossover with like the people that you meet, or is it sort of like two separate worlds?
Oh, that's a great question. For me, it's like two separate worlds.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like when you're a gamer, you kind of tend to be almost branded as like a geek, sort of. And then
Yeah.
when you're a sneakerhead, you're like branded as like the opposite of a geek.
Mm,
So for me, it's kind of always been a weird world for me because I grew up admiring sneakers all my life. I have an older brother who's obviously he got into sneakers before I did, so I used to follow in his footsteps all the time.
yeah.
And we grew up with when I was in middle school, I feel like that was the golden era for sneakers. That's when like I feel like the best, like in the middle of the 90s.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Jordan was like dropping like the 10s, the 11s, the 12s, and everybody seemed like they had a sneaker endorsement because of him.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like the best time for sneakers. So ever since then, like I always grew up like, when I get a job and I get old enough, I want to be able to buy the sneakers that my parents couldn't afford.
Mm,
So that's kind of started growing from there and into high school. And then for video games, it's kind of like the same thing where like my brother and I would grow up in, with Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. And
yeah.
um, so those kinds of things just kind of helped me. And I always held on to those things because it was like a reminder of my childhood. And
Mm.
then now into like PlayStation and all that. So those sneakers and video games have always been like a reminder of my childhood. I think that's why I've been always into both of them.
Yeah, no, it's always nice to see like the people that I've spoken to that it always seems like people they go back to what they grew up with, which I think is
Yeah.
always nice because I feel like some people they get too bogged down in like the world of work and they don't really get to like enjoy themselves and stuff. So that's something
Oh
I've
yeah.
definitely been doing as well. I'm envious that you grew up with like Jordan and that because I wasn't around for that or nearly pretty much wasn't
Oh
around for that. So
yeah.
yeah, so I'm envious that you grew up in such a cool time for sneakers and stuff. Obviously, coming up like nowadays, like in the early 2000s and stuff, it's obviously like a completely different story. I was
Yeah.
talking to Jesse, who I had on a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how like it's so different. I think he's a little bit older than you, so different to back when he was coming up and into sneakers and stuff, and how the culture's changed so much to more of like
Oh yeah.
a hip hop kind of
Yeah.
basis. It's like what's Travis doing, what's Kanye doing instead of
Oh yeah.
looking at athletes on the TV. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
coming up, it was almost exclusively just athletes, like mostly basketball players,
Mm,
a couple baseball players and football players. But essentially it was mostly basketball players, and so I think that was the thing. Like we would get a little magazine, and it wasn't as at least where I grew up in the New York area, the northeast of the states.
yeah.
In our area, it wasn't as difficult to get sneakers. At least, I mean, I would watch my brother buy sneakers. He was working before I ever did.
Mm,
Um, but it was like nowadays where you have to go online or go on the app to get a sneaker. It's a lot more competitive right nowadays. You have to deal with a lot more going on to get
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it must be tricky. I mean, this was something I was going to bring it up a bit later, but that's another thing I was talking to Jesse about, and maybe you can relate. Like dunks, for example,
Mm.
I've seen a lot of people talking about how like back in the day, dunks they'd be, sitting on the shelves for $30 or $40 or something like that, and now they're
Oh
reselling for
yeah.
upwards of like 250, some of them. So it must be weird to like see
Yeah.
the
The
contrast.
price is
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
again,
price is definitely, it's a lot. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Mm. So so basically to kind of to your friend's point too, we noticed, like, I think, like you said, like rappers like Travis Scott has been coming out with his own renditions of the Jordan sneaker.
Yeah,
Kanye West has, really taken Adidas to like the next level.
yeah,
And I even think his stock right now in Adidas is like almost as much as Jumpman Jordan right now. He's like a
mm,
billionaire because of Adidas or something like that.
yeah,
So I mean, it's pretty mad what's going on in the sneaker world, the sneaker culture.
mm,
But it's a lot of fun to see. I've gone to I mean, I haven't gone because of COVID the last couple of years, but the last sneaker convention I went to, you get to see a lot of variety now. It used to be where it's just Jordans and Nikes, and now you're seeing a lot of different variety of types of sneakers, which is kind of more fun to see.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think like, yeah, it's funny to see like things like we were talking about stuff that's popular from your childhood, then coming back and
Yeah.
people wanting to get them again, and it's like that nostalgia in it. People
Yeah.
aren't so fussed about the new stuff. They're more like looking for like, oh, I wanted these back in the day and stuff like that. So I
Oh
guess that
yeah.
it kind of plays into that, I guess, with like, growing up with Jordan and everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Definitely.
So you're saying there's no connection between the sneakers and the gaming? Because I've been looking through your Instagram and stuff, and like one thing you always seem to find like really vibrant, like cool outfits and stuff. Like one thing that
Oh,
stuck out to me was it was a Street Fighter jacket that you've got. You know what I'm talking about?
oh
It's a
yeah, the
sick
chalk
jacket, and
line.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Thank
like
you.
it's gaming, but it's like almost rides the line between like streetwear and gaming. Is there much like cross? I know they've had some PlayStation shoes before, I'm pretty sure. Is there much
Yeah,
crossover in
I
gaming?
have, yeah, so Sony has been known to do that. Like I have in my closet right now, Paul George has
Yeah.
some PlayStation releases, so I have a blue pair of those. Sony has done Air Force Ones also,
Mm.
placed for the PlayStation 2 release that they have come out with. So those are kind of like sort of a crossover. I mean, Street Fighter and like stuff like Mortal Kombat has always been iconic. So
Yeah.
people tend to like, wear like the retro stuff, and they might pair it with like a pair of Jordans and things. So I
Mm.
do like that a lot, like the fashion kind of bridging the gap between the two worlds, I would say.
No, definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. And it all fits in with your feed. Like you got like your bright, vibrant games, and you got like the retro sneakers. So it all like really fits in really well.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, for me, like gaming, I used to play a lot more when I was younger. But now I've sort of just like I don't play too much. I jump on the odd
Yeah.
like shooter and stuff like that, and a bit of Crash Bandicoot, like
Oh
when I,
yeah,
well,
that's the good stuff.
yeah, just for a lot old time's sake. So, but I don't play too much anymore. And for me, like talking about like um, you know, unconventional pairings of like hobbies and stuff. For you, it's the gaming and the sneakers. For me, it's sneakers and martial arts.
Yeah.
Like I'll come into contact with people who they watch a bit of UFC or boxing or something like that, but they don't practice martial arts themselves. So I think that's one thing that I'm really for this show that I'm doing right now is to like hopefully bridge the gap between like last week I had a
Hmm.
martial artist on. This week I got a sneakerhead on and a gamer. I've had
That's awesome.
that on another episode. I had someone who's actually developing games for Nintendo, which is
Oh
incredible.
wow.
I'll
Yeah.
send you a link to that because that's a very interesting episode.
Definitely. I would love to check that out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think having multiple different things that you're interested in instead of just being super streamlined, it
I
it
agree. I
introduces you to
100% agree.
more people. So
Yeah. That was one thing I missed with martial arts. I mean, I used to study Kempo, American Kempo.
yeah.
At the farthest I got at the time was, at least in my school, was second degree brown belt. I never made
Okay.
it. After that would have been third degree brown belt, and then we would go on to first degree black belt. But I never made it past second degree because I started getting more into like I was in high school, and I was having trouble like juggling the two
Yeah.
responsibilities. So I had to like, but I do miss it though. It was a lot
Mm.
of fun. It did a lot for me too.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's something that, like, for me coming through school and stuff, I did it. I've been doing it for years now, but it was sort of just on the back burner while I was in school. But it's only now, like, from coming out of school and stuff, and the past few years, I've really been like focusing on it and stuff, and obviously with the
Yeah,
content and on Instagram and everything like that. So
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So that's something that I'm focused on at the minute. So we'll zoom in just on the sneakers for a sec.
Mm.
So I see on your photos you've got some Jordan ones, you've got the one lows. You're a big Nike guy. So um, is there any room at all for Adidas or Reebok or anything like that in your collection?
Uh, so good question. To be honest, I think maybe like 95 to 96% of my sneaker collection is Nike or
Yeah.
Jordan, I should say.
Okay.
I have my wife loves Adidas. She's like a big Adidas head. She's like almost exclusively Adidas. But for
Mm,
me, I think the reason why I started getting almost exclusively into Nike were all, again, going back to my childhood, all of the athletes that I grew up with admiring just so happened to be signed with Nike.
yeah.
Like, of course, Michael Jordan, Ken Griffey Jr. Like a lot of my favorite athletes had Nike contract. So I would admire like their sneakers, and I always thought they were cool. I do like Adidas.
Mm,
And I think the most comfortable sneaker are like the Yeezy Boosts.
yeah. Definitely.
But they're hard to find, and here, at least where I'm at, they're like almost impossible to get. So I
Yeah.
always find it easier to, if I could find Jordans. I think for me it's just been a little easier. And so I think a lot of like my clothing has been like Nike. So I always tend to pair Nike clothing with like Jordans or Nike
Yeah.
sneakers. But mostly I mean I used to really be into dunks. I love dunks still. But I've been getting more into like Air Maxes lately. I've been getting more into let's see what else. The Jordan ones lately. I
Yeah.
like my favorite Jordan of all time, the one I think I have the most nostalgia for is the Jordan 13. Believe it or not. I know
Really.
it's kind of like the weirder one with the little hologram on
Yeah.
there. But I think the sneaker that I like to wear the most is the Jordan 1, the first Jordan.
Okay.
It's just classic. The shape of it is just classic. You know, you can pair it with
Mm.
jeans, sweatpants, joggers, and it just goes great with just about anything. Khakis, it's
Oh,
just a
definitely.
classic
Yeah.
silhouette that you can't go wrong. And I just noticed in the last couple of years, it's gotten so popular now with the colorways, and it's been, I think, probably more in demand than almost any other Jordan
Oh, for
at the
sure.
last couple
Definitely.
of years.
Yeah.
I think that's why Travis Scott has been successful with it too.
Yeah. I mean, what you were saying about the you find it hard to get Yeezys over there, but you find Jordans easily. For me, I don't know if it's just my luck or if it's because I'm in the UK or something, but for me, it's completely the other way around.
Yeah.
I'll enter like a Yeezy raffle or whatever you call it, trying to get the Yeezys and stuff, and on Adidas and all that, and I'll just do it by chance. Like I'll kind of I'll grab it, yeah, sure, and I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll get it. I had like
That's awesome.
like at the start of last year, I got like three 350 boosts in a row, just like ones that I
Oh,
didn't really
wow.
want. And then
Yeah.
um but Jordans and stuff, I just can't. Nike sneakers must have something against me because I've never ever hit on there ever. It's so
I
annoying.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just so hard over here. But I think I guess it depends on the market, like what's
Mm,
more in demand. And Jordans, you can find them like more easily in stores here. But
yeah.
what Kanye West has done, I give him credit. And they look so good. And I've tried them on, they're just so comfortable. Like the
Mm,
Boost cushion,
yeah.
they're just such comfortable sneakers. They're like walking on air. But I never got to score on myself. Never.
Oh damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's yeah, like I said, completely the opposite over here. Maybe it is the markets, like they obviously have a certain amount of stock for like the Europe and the UK and stuff like that. So maybe I've just
Yeah.
been getting lucky that it's sort of balanced more towards us over here or something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, so for me, like getting into sneakers, what was it? So it was my one of my first jobs. I was working in a Nike stockroom actually. So that's why I'm like fully biased towards Nike because obviously my training for that I needed to know like everything about the technologies and the running shoes
Yeah.
and all the different like history and the founders and stuff of it. So I know quite a lot about the history of Nike and stuff like
That's
that.
awesome.
So that was cool. And then I actually got the job because we were doing a like a group task where in the interview thing we are doing like a group interview where we had to like design a shoe and
Oh, wow.
before that I didn't really know much about sneakers, so I did a bit of research before I went because I thought like I need to know what I'm talking about. And I was bringing up all these like ideas and stuff about, oh, they're making like new self-lacing shoes, so we'll make self-lacing and stuff like that. And then the stockroom guy said, I want this kid to work in the stockroom because he knows his stuff. So yeah, and then that's really where it all started, because then I was going in for early morning shifts. I was, getting the pallets in and looking at oh wow, look at this new shoes coming in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was almost like Christmas every day I went there, because I was looking at,
Wow.
oh, have they got my size? Have they got like, my size? Um, so yeah, so like I said, I've got a few pairs of Adidas. I don't overly like look at Adidas or try and find out much about Adidas, because it's just not what I sort of started with. So,
Yeah.
and as you said as well, like obviously I've got a lot of Nike clothes because I work there as well. So what am I going to do? Like replace half my wardrobe with Adidas
Yeah.
clothes now? So it's another few hundred
Yeah.
quid to spend on
Oh
clothes to
yeah.
go with it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
easily. Yeah, it gets tricky with,
Mm.
but that's the when it's like it gets addicting. I've been trying to like cut back this year on like buying, but I've been pretty good. I got the last pair of I have them right here. So the last pair I have is I got the Air Max Puerto Ricos.
Oh wow. Okay.
90, yeah. So these yeah, so these I haven't even like got them yet, but these are the Air Max, the
Oh,
Puerto
those are
Rico
sick. Yeah.
editions. Yeah. You can see the flag there.
Mm.
So these right here, like I was on the hunt for these for a while, and I was like, oh my god, it took me forever to finally find them online and make sure that it was legit. So I got them through eBay, and I guess eBay is kind of doing like StockX now,
Yeah, they've kind
where
of converted, haven't they? Yeah.
they're authenticating them and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go.
Mm.
But aside from that, the last pair I had gotten was it's the Jordan ones with like the denim, the high top denim. It's kind of like a denimish material.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I do have I know it's gonna be almost impossible to get, but in October, I have my eyes on. They're called the black and red patent leather the ones, but the breads,
Yeah.
but they're patent leather.
I think I've seen those. Yeah.
Oh, they're so bad. Oh my god. And I just know that those are like probably like the ones that are gonna go really quickly.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
definitely.
try my hardest to get them if I can. But
Yeah. Anything black and red on a one is pretty much impossible to get.
yeah,
Even like they have some that are like questionable. Like I'm like, oh, they're okay, but they just go instantly. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
definitely.
mean,
It's
I'm the
iconic.
same. Like recently, I haven't really bought too many. I've recently bought a car and stuff. I'm trying to save my money for other stuff. So I'm not
Nice,
trying to,
nice.
I'm not trying to spend all my money on shoes. But I saw they're bringing out like a Polo Ralph Lauren Jordan 4 collab. It's like three or
Oh,
four colorways and it looks nice. I'm a
oh,
big fan of
jeez.
Jordan 4. So
Oh, I love fours. They're probably
yeah,
like my second favorite, I would say, the
yeah.
fours.
Yeah, and I think I didn't really come up with Jordan and that. So I think like for me, Jordan 4 is probably my favorite Jordan
Yeah,
silhouette, which
that's an
people
awesome
probably hate
four.
me for that. So, but
No, not at all. I think
mm,
if if I had to rank them, see, it's tricky because I think I have to separate my favorites from
the
because I feel like
best.
there's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
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 So like I think people would probably argue that the best Jordan of all time is probably the 11 with the patent leather, the
Okay.
breads, the 11s,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably in terms of iconic. And then maybe number two might be like the Jordan ones, or they could flip flop out, they can
I'd say the
alternate.
one. I'd say
The
people would.
one, you're
Yeah.
right, the one with they're more popular.
Yeah.
And then I would say the maybe the 11s, and then after that it can be open. It could be I would say
Mm.
the fours,
I'd say
maybe
like
the
four
threes.
and three. Yeah. Four and three.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe chuck maybe five or eight in there. Maybe
Oh
afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many to choose from. I mean, after that, it can be tossed up. After
Yeah.
like the fours and the threes, it's like it can be a little bit more open. But
Mm.
11s and the ones are always like the number one go-to options. But I would, yeah. So like I think my opinion, I think the greatest. Jordan sneaker is the one. It's just it
Okay.
started it all. It
Yeah.
set the tone. They designed Nike Dunks after the Jordan 1.
Yeah.
So it's like you got one iconic sneaker, and then that gave birth to other iconic sneakers, which is like
Yeah.
the Dunk, which is in its own right and a cultural icon, especially when Nike started doing SB, like SB Dunks
SB
for the
ones. Yeah.
skateboarding community.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, that blew up like crazy. Um, especially like in my area, like in when you go to out to like the inner city and like in New York and everything, they have like underground like bodegas where you can go
Oh
to,
wow. Yeah.
and you just go in there, like you'll go into the store. It's like crazy. So you'll go into the store, and if you know who to speak to, they'll
Yeah.
like just be selling regular clothing like in the first floor, and then you kind of like ask them like where's the real good stuff at, and then they'll take you under like in a basement, like a
Oh
tunnel kind of
wow.
thing, and then
Yeah.
you'll have like all like the really
The
exclusive
good
like
stuff.
the
Yeah.
the good stuff. So but it's like a really deep community like in the city for stuff like that. But the Jordan 1, I would say maybe two greatest sneaker would be like the Jordan 11. The
Mm.
Jordan 4 would be number 3, I think. Probably the Jordan 3 would be
Three after that. Yeah.
right after that. And maybe number 5 would probably be probably like maybe the 12 even was an iconic silhouette. My
Mm.
favorite is still the 13, but in terms of greatness, separating my inner loving
Yeah.
would definitely be like those for sure. Like iconic moments with those.
Yeah. I think the 13, it's
Yeah.
got some notable colorways, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like one that you see a lot of, isn't it? Really. So.
Right. Yeah. It came at towards the end of Jordan's career and all
Mm.
that stuff. But you know, he just paved the way for a lot of people, like, you know, LeBron James, who's got a really popular sneaker collection with Nike. So yeah, it's just kind of it really started with the 1. So that's like for me, that will always be like the greatest. And
It's
it
got
goes
to be.
great with everything.
Yeah.
It just looks good. It just looks good. You know, it's so
Yeah. No.
classic.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Over here, like, I mean, I still can't really tell if it's because basketball isn't massive over here. Like, it's not. It's like,
Mhm.
like it's maybe like our fourth most played sport or something in school or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I know, I don't know if it's a stereotype, but it seems like you guys are all about basketball and stuff like that. So
Oh God, yeah. It's
yeah,
basketball and obviously American baseball, American football.
football,
They're
yeah,
probably our top 3.
yeah. For us, it's
Um,
mainly like art, like soccer, football. Like we call it
yeah,
football, but
football,
soccer,
yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah. So it's only just been recently. I don't know if it's the age that I'm getting to or because people didn't have money and stuff, but it seems like it's only just now where people are really wearing like people in my school, like they didn't wear Jordans. We mostly have Air Maxes and stuff like that. It's
Oh yeah.
mostly influenced by, like football players and stuff like that, So it may be different cultures, or it may just be just the age or the area that I live in, because I live in quite like a rural area. There's a lot of farmland and stuff, so people don't probably want to be
Gotcha.
walking around muddy fields in like all
Yeah.
white Jordans and stuff like that. So um yeah, but I'd say like maybe the 1s and the 4s are probably the only Jordans I really see people wearing around here, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I've got a pair of 7s, and I've seen one other person with a pair of 7s, just by chance, and that's pretty much it. A few Jordan 3s as well. So it's pretty dry around here, if I'm honest. But like I said, it's mostly like Air Force Ones has become massive.
Oh yeah.
Some Dunks and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I really, because when you go to London, there's a few more pairs of Jordans and stuff. But so I don't know if it's just the place that I live or if it's like the actual culture between like the US and the UK. Because
Yeah.
I'm looking on Instagram and it's like people are like wearing like mad fits going to get like a hot dog from down the road or something, and
Yeah, yeah.
people out here and like beating up Nikes and stuff like that. So it's not
Yeah.
it's just different over here, man. It's just different.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though. How far do you live from London? Like how many like minutes or hours or
uh I'd say 1.5 to 2 hour drive, maybe.
okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
not too
guess
bad. Yeah.
yeah. So I've been to London twice. The first time I went, I stopped in parts of Europe first. I went to the first time I went to what was it? what was it? So we first went to Italy. We went to Rome.
Hmm.
We went to Venice. Then we crossed over to Lugano, Switzerland,
Yeah.
Lucerne, Switzerland.
Oh,
Then we went up to
Switzerland's
Paris. It was
so
like,
nice, isn't it? Yeah. I've been
oh,
there.
Switzerland was gorgeous. Yeah, we
Yeah.
went to Mount Pilatus for
Yeah.
like our honeymoon,
Oh, okay.
and it was just so beautiful. It in the States you don't get to see things like that here
Hmm.
naturally. So seeing that, it was just like, oh my God. And then you see the cows with the bells on it. I was like, oh my God, like the little postcards and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
and then we ended our trip in the first time we went, ended our trip in London for maybe like for 4 days.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, granted, to be fair, we're being tourists, so of course we're doing the touristy things in London, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was so beautiful there too, what we've seen. And just like the people were just so friendly, and the
Do you
pubs were a
think
lot of
really?
fun.
You thought people were
I feel
friendly in
like it.
London?
I was more nervous about, I think I was probably most nervous about going to London over like the other countries
Yeah.
because they're gonna hear my American accent, like, oh, he's not from around here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we only went a small sample size. It was only like 4 days the first
Hmm.
time we went, so it's not really fair, but it was nice. It was just a good experience. It was a lot of fun. Every time I go somewhere, I always kind of take a part of the culture with me. So it was a good experience. We got to go to was it Buckingham? They had like it was open at the time for like tourists to see Buckingham Palace. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Hmm.
It was really cool experience, and it's something that we always take back. So and then the second time we went for about a week and a half, was just to London. But yeah, it's just a good time. Obviously, it's just kind of cool to kind of learn about different cultures, how people do things, and
Hmm.
so that was pretty
No.
nice. I love to travel. Like we go all over the place, like whenever we can. I mean, we haven't been able to the last couple of years, but
Yeah.
when things hopefully get back to normal in the world, we would like to go
Hopefully.
traveling
Yeah.
again.
Hopefully we're
Yeah.
getting there soon. Yeah, no, something I
Yeah.
definitely want to do. Like I said, I got out of school literally a few years ago, so I've been pretty much stuck in the pandemic for like half the time I've been like getting money,
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
but
I understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's this guy from like sneaker people that I know online and stuff like that. He's from the US, called Justin. I think he's coming to London some in a couple months or something, so I think I'm going to meet him there as well. So
That's awesome.
let me know
Yeah.
next time you come, and
Definitely.
we'll meet up. That'll be cool. Yeah,
That'd be
and
super
hopefully I'll
awesome.
come and
Yeah.
visit. I've been to USA twice. I went to Florida twice,
Oh,
just
okay.
when I was really young, just to go to like
Yeah.
Disney and
Oh,
Universal and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I didn't
That's
really
definitely the
see.
thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I was so young, I didn't get to like really experience, like actual America. I just went into, Mickey Mouse and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I definitely want to visit. I want to go to New York and places like that. I just, I've it's
Yeah.
just
You
something I
gotta
haven't
check out
experienced. Yeah,
the sneaker culture here. It's
yeah,
so mad.
definitely.
The sneaker culture is crazy here for sure.
Mm, definitely. And I was speaking to, it kind of links to martial arts as well. I met this guy the other day for a friend who went to China to learn kung fu, and he went
Oh wow.
and he lived like for a couple months, I think, in this like temple on top of a mountain, which sounds literally amazing, like something, like when Batman goes away to train and stuff, he goes up like the mountains and stuff. So
I couldn't
uh,
imagine. Wow,
yeah,
that's something you would only read about or maybe see in a movie or something.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna look to definitely do that. That's probably the first thing I'm gonna do when traveling finally like opens up, is I'm gonna look to go there for maybe a
Yeah.
month or so.
That would
Because
be
yeah,
amazing.
he said like
Yeah.
you get like woken up early in the morning, you'd have to like run up and down the mountain, like up the steps to the temple and stuff like that, and you get like weapons training. It's something,
Oh my God, that sounds like so
yeah,
much fun. So what
yeah.
an experience that would be. I see, I've never been to, that's one thing. I've never been to any country in Asia.
No, me neither. Exactly. Yes,
No.
that's
Yeah.
definitely something that I want to do quick because
Yeah,
you
that'd
know
be amazing.
yeah, definitely. He said it was literally life changing. So,
Yeah.
and not too expensive compared to like holidays that where you go to somewhere and you sit on a beach or something like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
so, and so I'm young. I'm gonna save up and hopefully do that. So
Oh
that'll be
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. That would be amazing, actually.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you record everything,
Oh,
like
definitely.
the record the experience.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Definitely document what it's like and stuff. I'll hopefully have him on here so I can talk to him a bit about it first, and then hopefully
Yeah.
get some advice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Um.
cool.
Yeah. So we spoke a little bit about the resale kind of culture and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that? So is it something that you partake in, or are you cool with it, or do you think it's kind of ruined the whole game for everyone?
That's a great question. I just had this conversation with my one of my buddies the other day. Uh, okay. So for me, I understand the need for like wanting to get a specific sneaker because you want to wear it. So for
Mm,
me, one thing I don't like, so I guess I'm half and half. One thing I don't like are people buying sneakers for the purpose, or like buying up all the sneakers like on all the websites for the purpose of reselling them for more with
yeah.
no intentions of wearing them themselves. And in the States, at least I can speak in the New York area here and in the upper United States, I can speak that that's a very big thing, a part of the culture, which I don't like
Mm,
because I don't think it's fair. I think it takes away the experience from like someone who would legitimately buy those sneakers from the website to wear them. Now they're
yeah.
stuck having to go to StockX or like eBay. So I'll draw the line if it's a sneaker that I really, really want that I can't find. It's really hard to find, but I have to have the sneaker. I'll maybe set it to where I won't spend maybe 30, $40 more than retail or $50 max
Yeah.
past retail. When you start getting into where you're spending over 100, $200 retail, like on top of the retail price, then it's like at
That's
that point,
getting
it's
too
like
crazy.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, and Yeezys are huge for they go for resale like a lot nowadays.
Mm,
They're so big on the resale market right now. Maybe even more than Nike, honestly. In this
I think so.
region,
Yeah. Mm,
they're people when you have a pair of Yeezys, they go, I'll buy it like almost twice because I think what they retail here for maybe about $220 US dollars.
mm.
Um, not sure how many pounds that would be from
I think
220.
it's like 180 maybe. I think that's what
Yeah.
they retail for over here. So it's roughly
Yeah,
about
so
that. Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I think it kind of also inflates and drives up the hype
Mm,
more. So it keeps people who really want the sneaker from being able to get them easily.
mm.
So I think that's why I'm kind of against the market. I like to just buy the sneaker, wear them, enjoy them. But when you have people who are just buying up sneakers, like buying left and right, or setting up, like I don't know if you ever like a sneaker bot, like an
Yeah.
online sneaker robot.
Yeah. Yeah. That just gets in the queue
Income.
like for you pretty much. And yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Mm,
not fair. It's like because then you lose out on the opportunity. Now you're stuck having to go to a resale website to pay over $100 more for a
mm.
sneaker, and I think it also artificially sneakers that probably wouldn't be going for more, or like, or people wouldn't care about as much. I feel like people, oh my goodness, now I have to get that sneaker because I don't want to miss out.
Mm.
And I feel like the sneaker game should be like, you know what, wear what you want to wear. Like I think here's one thing that I always had an issue with, that for me, going back to Jordan ones, I love Jordan ones, but for me, controversially,
Okay.
I love Jordan lows, I love
Yeah.
Jordan highs, and you know what, I love Jordan mids.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yeah.
in the American I don't know about maybe over there in the United Kingdom, but here it's like, God forbid you like the Jordan mids. Oh my goodness, how do you like the Jordan mids? It's like the weird, it's almost
They
awful
get
sneaker in the
yeah,
world.
they get a lot of hate.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? Maybe like two less
Oh,
laces holes and
like
stuff, and
less than like
literally like
two
an inch.
inches.
Yeah.
It's like less than an inch, and it like literally is like pretty much the same sneaker. It's just
Mm,
like that little inch, couple inch and a half difference. And the moment it's labeled a mid, it's considered like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna steer clear of that. So for me, I like it because that means I can buy whatever mids with no problem having to compete with people.
yeah, they're like one
But
two hundred dollars less, aren't they? Pretty much for the equivalent like
yeah, for the
mid
same
colorway.
colorway,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
same colorway. And so it's like, oh my goodness, like okay, I don't mind. The I think the thing is, so I try to like, I wear what I like to wear. Like I try not to like, if someone says, oh, I wouldn't wear that. For me, if it's something I like, I'll wear them, you know?
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say I'm boring. I guess I'm more like classic. Like I'm more a
Mm,
classic style.
yeah.
I just, for me, if it's like a style that is classic, it won't go out of style. Like you could wear it years down the line. Like
Mm,
my wife, she's a school teacher. and she teaches middle school right now. And she's telling me that kids who are like 11, 12 years old in her class are wearing Jordans. And these kids who have are 11 years, 12 years old. They have no idea who Jordan. They
Yeah.
weren't around when Jordan was like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they barely know LeBron James.
Mm.
And they're wearing more Jordans than they are LeBron James. And that just shows how timeless some of the silhouettes are. And if you have that, it's you can just wear it and you don't have to worry about it going, out of style. And yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Mm.
that's why I think the Yeezy Boosts are so popular too, is the silhouette is so simple. The
Mm.
original Boost, you can almost wear it with anything, a nice pair of khaki jogger trousers or something. It goes with a lot of things. So
Yeah.
I
If
think that
even if you don't
Kanye
know what
West,
Yeezy or Kanye is, you
yeah,
can it translates just into an everyday shoe
yeah,
just as
it's a
easily as it does
classic
like a
style.
fashion
He was a
statement.
genius for
Yeah.
that, absolute genius for that. So I give him credit. I mean, he came from Nike, so
Yeah.
he
I
knows what he
know.
was doing.
Yeah. Well, he worked in Gap before, didn't he? He worked in Gap just as a normal
Yeah,
worker. And I think now,
yeah.
isn't he designing clothes for Gap now or
For
something?
Gap, yeah,
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 which
which
is
is this is
crazy.
insane. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah,
if that pattern's true, then maybe I'll be, since I worked in Nike before, I'll be designing clothes for Nike at some
yeah,
point.
yeah. That'd
Maybe
be
following
awesome.
his
Yeah,
footsteps.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think mm, interesting because I think, like what you said, Yeezys, they seem to be reselling a lot. They seem to be, I wouldn't necessarily say they're reselling for more than like Jordans, but they're definitely more um like reliable. It seems like every single, like there are some Jordans
Mm,
that come and go and they just resell for like a tiny little bit above retail. But
yeah,
every, like, you can bet if you pick up a Yeezy, you can flip that for at least $100 more than
yeah,
what you bought it for, at least any colorway, even if it's a similar one to what's already been released. Um,
yeah. It's
yeah,
insane. It really is. I mean, it's kind of like going back to gaming, for example. It happened this past year with like the Xbox
and the
and
PlayStation
the
5, they're
PlayStation
difficult to
5.
get
Yeah,
still, aren't they? They're still difficult to get those PlayStation
they're like,
5s.
yeah.
Mm,
Here it's like impossible to find. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's annoying. I think, yeah, because I can't tell if, because don't get me wrong, I like what the Yeezys look like, but something does tell me it's just a lot of hype, especially when you see how his fans
Yeah, yeah.
react with like this recent like album that's supposed to be coming out, and they're watching him. Have you seen the videos? Like he's just in like a jail cell or something, and he's like flying around a big stadium and stuff. So I can't tell if it's just overhyped or if it's actually
It's
as big as it is.
it's it's probably both. It's kind of like going to what I'm saying, like what I said before. Like if people react to, like if one person says, "Oh my goodness, this is the greatest sneaker of all time," and people are afraid to miss out on that the fear of missing out, they'll like, "Oh my goodness, now I have to go and get the sneaker because it's." To be honest, like I mean, you never know they were Adidas
Mm,
and like the regular boosts, and they look like regular like gym sneakers, but they're very comfortable. But you wouldn't know that unless you try them on. I mean, they're a great silhouette, but it's nothing like, compared to like a sneaker like an Air Max. The Air Maxes look way different,
yeah.
but the Yeezys will still get a lot more attention. I don't know. It's the way Kanye West markets it and positioned it, so
Mm.
made it that way. I think that the hype behind it is what drove up the value.
Yeah, it's all in the marketing, definitely all in the
Yeah.
marketing. Because they're even, I think like it might be Reebok and stuff like that. They have similar looking, they have
Oh
like Yeezy
yeah.
looking shoes, and they don't get any attention whatsoever. I always see the
Oh
comments as
yeah.
well under when you get the accounts that post like the new shoes and stuff, and there are comments under it saying, "Oh, if Kanye made this, it would be like reselling for loads and stuff like that." But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get those guys as well. Yeah, so it
That's
sort of goes
true.
both ways.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I think we'll move away from sneakers. We'll move on to gaming now because obviously this is something
Sure.
that I don't know too much about. Like I said, I play the odd shooter and stuff like that. Halo was a big one for me. Halo 3. The
Oh
amount of
yeah.
hours I
Love
put into that
Halo.
game is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um, so we'll start from the beginning again. So what was your first gaming memory? Like what's the first game that you remember sort of playing?
Sure. So it would be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. The original.
Yeah. The original, yeah. Sonic the
Cool.
Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog Part 2.
Yeah.
So my brother and I, we had gotten which is known as the Mega Drive over there, the Sega Genesis here.
Yeah.
And just, I was playing in the living room and fighting over the controller, who got to get next and all that. And of course, him being the older brother, he always like made me wait. I always had to wait all the time. He never
Mm.
let me get the controller half the time. And then Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter arcade game, that was always a big memory of mine. So as kids, my mother, if we behaved ourselves, now I'm like really dating myself. If we behaved ourselves, we would be able to go to the arcade and she would give us like a little bit of allowance. So it'd be like 20 US dollars. Here, you can go spend it on however many arcades because you guys were good this week or we got good grades.
Yeah.
So she would give us some money and we would go break it into little quarters and we would spend hours at the arcade. So that was like probably my fondest childhood memories.
Mm.
And then when the first PlayStation came out, that was like the first time I started really getting like into like Crash Bandicoot and things like that. And then since then, I had become almost exclusively like PlayStation fan. The systems I've had since then was PlayStation, PlayStation 2. I skipped over the PlayStation 3. I was in college when the
Oh, really?
PlayStation 3 came out, so I
Okay.
never got the PS3. But then for my what I at that point I was kind of going through a phase where I wasn't really into gaming anymore.
Mm.
And then my job after I got out of college a few years ago, my job was had a contest like who could sell I forget what it was. It was I was working at a bank and who could sell like the most of this product for a customer and I won the contest. And you had to pick between the Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it's free. My wife can't kill me if it's free. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll get the PlayStation 4. So I got a free PlayStation 4 and I got some games for it. And it kind of got me back into
Mm.
gaming again. And so then, long story short, I started getting back into retro gaming because of the memories that were like with it. Oh,
Yeah.
and then back in November this past year, I got the PlayStation 5. That
Okay. Did you
was
get that for
that
retail or
was
did you have to fork out
oh no,
like?
I got it retail. And you know
Okay.
what? And I'm gonna give
Yeah.
a tip for everybody who's watching this. Do not go on websites. Do not go on if you I don't know what my local places there might have it, but if there's apps, like
Mm.
you could download an app for it
Okay.
to like the way I got it was I had used my phone. I went on like here we have like a Target and Walmart. So I got on the Target website and I had put my payment information in advance. Like
Yeah.
I already had it all planned out, ready to go, my credit card information. And then I went on, and when they were supposed to drop the release date, which I think at the time was November 12th, I
Mm.
was up in the middle of the night refreshing the app. And then finally, when it went live, I was able to kind of put it in. I mean, it actually took a couple of tries, and I didn't think I got it. I went through because it kept crashing.
Yeah.
But I found out that the websites were crashing worse than the actual phone app because not many people were using the phone app.
Oh, okay. I see.
And that's when I
Yeah.
was able to score the next day. I was able to pick
I
up,
see.
which was pretty cool. I mean, right now I play mostly sports games like NFL, Madden.
Madden.
But I've
Yeah.
been playing Call of Duty lately too, which is
Mm.
fun. But yeah, so it's kind of what it is. I have it hooked up right to behind my. I have like a projector screen here, a
Oh,
projector
nice.
machine. So
Oh,
it
nice.
goes projected to the wall, and so,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh, that's cool. So what you're
yeah.
saying, use the app instead of the website because people
That's what
obviously
brought me. Yeah,
they're
because
on their
more people
computers on
were
the
using on
website.
the
Yeah.
actual. They're on the laptop and on their computers and stuff, and it causes it to crash more. So that's the way it helps me.
Hmm.
I mean, I think right now the problem is the stock is very low.
Yeah.
Like they're not producing much of it. So every time it does go online, it sells out immediately. And going back to people buying out everything and selling it for more, they're doing the same thing with PlayStation and Xbox. They're selling it for two, three, $400 more than the retail.
Yeah. Because that
Yeah.
is really weird because that must have released what was it over a year ago now, surely, and it's
Almost, almost.
still out of
Yeah.
stock. Like normally,
Yeah.
I remember like from my childhood, like kind of childhood, yeah. it was the Nintendo Wii. I remember that I think that was out of stock for like one Christmas maybe, and then it was just
Yeah.
like back in stock for, you can easily get them now. So
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. They must be doing it on purpose. Surely they must be like making them in high demand on purpose. Do you reckon? Or
Maybe to drive the value up. I don't
mm,
know, but we're already it's August 9th here, and already we're still, you can't just go to a store and purchase the PlayStation 5 or an Xbox like
mm,
readily. You can only buy like a game or two.
yeah, that is
So it's still very much so hard to find.
yeah. Yeah, for me, my first sort of gaming memory. I don't know if you. I've only met a couple of people who know what this game is. But it was on the PlayStation One, and it was called Gex. You know Gex? Please tell me you know Gex. It's like a
Ah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think there's a bit of a
Oh
delay, but
yeah.
it's basically like it's a gecko. I think they were trying to make him like PlayStation's kind of like Mario or something of the time. I think before Crash Bandicoot and that they wanted to make him
Yeah.
like their mascot kind of thing. So it was like his character was kind of like James Bond, and he went into like TV sets and stuff and went on little adventures and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's what I remember.
That was a
PlayStation
great
One.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch my dad play that because I was so young at the time, PlayStation 1 when that was out. So I used to watch my dad complete those levels for me. I could only do it was
Yeah.
Gex 3 that I used to play, and it was the Christmas level right at the start. That was the only one I could complete because there was like an evil Santa
Yeah.
that you'd throw presents at and stuff. And it was a really good game. And then got rid of my I got rid of my PlayStation 1 quite a few years ago, and then just recently, I think like 2 Christmases ago or something, I actually got given one. So I've got Gex 2, Gex 3. I've been going back through it. So it's been a nice little
That's awesome.
nostalgia thing. And the original Crash
Yeah.
Bandicoots and stuff like that. Um, so I've been playing through them again. And then I'm still on the Xbox One. Not the X, the Xbox One. So I've just got like Halo on there and stuff like that. But I
Yeah.
really
Halo is
don't,
awesome.
yeah, I really don't play like my Xbox much, to be honest. I play the PlayStation 1 more than the Xbox One. So
Yeah.
interesting little insight. Yeah.
I
So,
uh, I have to I have to say my favorite game series is the Tomb Raider series, like Lara Croft and Tomb Raider.
yeah, you're a bit of a
Um
Lara Croft stan, aren't you? A little
oh
bit.
yeah, I'm a Lara Croft stan, definitely.
Yeah.
Props to the UK for bringing us Lara Croft.
Yes.
I mean, you guys don't get enough credit for like everything that the UK has done for video gaming, because not just Lara Croft, but I don't know if you remember like the Killer Instinct series.
I'm
The
familiar.
Killer
Yeah. Yeah.
Killer Instinct the fighting game from the mid 90s, was one of the most iconic series from Rare Entertainment, which is they were based out of the UK. Of course, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which is still pretty popular. It's iconic to this day. And the Donkey Kong Country series was produced by Rare Entertainment.
Oh, was it?
So yeah, actually,
Okay.
Tomb Raider, it's ironic. Yeah, so the Donkey Kong Country series for the Super Nintendo was produced in the UK, and that's like my
Okay.
favorite Super Nintendo series of all time.
Oh wow.
And then so Tomb Raider, actually, the rights from Tomb Raider were sold to Crystal Dynamics, and it's the same company that did Gex.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
So
Crystal Dynamics made
yeah,
Gex. Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's like a country, it's the company like out of like Canada,
Hmm.
north, yeah, Canada or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah. I was
good
actually
stuff.
saying to that to the guy who's he makes some games and stuff. And I did a podcast with him. I still don't know how he does it, because it's incredible that people can even do that. But I was
Yeah, it's
saying to
pretty
him, like,
cool, huh?
I think the company that owned the rights to Gex kind of folded, and it's become like it's kind of like, anyone can kind of make a Gex game now. So I've been literally begging
Yeah.
him, like, please make a Gex 4, please make a Gex 4. I've been
Yeah,
waiting my whole life for it.
that'd be
And
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's only a few people that I know who actually know what Gex is. Like, everyone's like, what are you talking about? But I really, really hope that something
Oh no,
comes out
that's
of
a
it.
that's an awesome series. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
good stuff.
saw
Good stuff.
I saw a video, and do you have like arcade games at your house? Like, the ones you have at the amusements. Do you have that at your
Yeah.
house? Yeah.
Oh, so I have it's called the Arcade One Up.
Okay.
I can see if I can pull up. I can pull this camera towards it for you, so you can. It's like I have it right over here.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you can't.
Um, so I have okay, so I don't know if you can I can give a little bit of a tour here. Well, not a tour, sort of, but see it's kind of behind me here.
I see, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that I had so I don't do they sell like they're like a kit that you can actually buy the actual you can actually buy the kit to build the arcade.
Did you
Do
build
they
that
have
one?
that over there? Like
I've
the
I
arcade
don't
one up?
I don't know
Yeah.
anyone who's got one of those. I don't know anyone, so I assume you can get them over here.
So yeah, it's a kit. I have to, you know what, I'll message you. Sorry, I dropped the
You just dropped the camera.
my camera here. So it's a kit basically. And the way it works is that like it comes like in like a box and you can just like build it basically.
Okay, that's cool.
Um, yeah, so it's meant to like so basically it's meant to like bring the arcade experience home.
Hmm.
Now, the difference between mine and like the ones that come in the box was I did do a couple modifications to it where like I installed the coin door where you can put coins in for like credits to kind
Yeah.
of give it the real like credit feel, which was fun. I did a couple of things. I added like the light up marquee to the back of it
Yeah,
to
I was
make it
gonna
look
say
like
that's how I saw you. You made a video of you putting the. You said you got the new light thing in the top of it. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that I did that. So I did a few miles. It was like a fun like, passion project, and then I added like a Raspberry Pi
Hmm.
to the back of it. Also from the UK,
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi. So thank you again for that too.
Yeah.
I put it in the back and I loaded it up with a bunch of retro games, including Killer Instinct. And yeah, so that's pretty much that's like a little passion project I have. But I'll have to send you the link. When we get on Instagram, I'll message you like the link for Arcade One Up because they have all kinds of different like lines of machine. It's meant for you
That'll
to
be
build. It's
cool.
smaller too, so
Yeah.
it's like it's meant to be a lot smaller than like as opposed to huge, like a big arcade,
Yeah.
So I think that's
What do you? Does it just play one game like at the arcade, or is it like a sort of thing you can play lots on, or what?
yeah. So I modded it because when I first got it, it only had like 3 versions of Street Fighter.
Okay.
And so what I did was I modded it to play like maybe like 30, 40 games, like
Oh wow.
classics like Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. So like pretty much all those games I have on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is it roughly? The box thing to put
So
it together.
US dollars, it was when I first got it, because I got it when it first came out, was about $300 US.
Okay. It's not too
And
bad.
then
Yeah, it's not too bad.
oh, and granted, you have to like, if any modifications are extra, you know.
Just
Sorry,
drop the
let
camera
me get my
again.
camera back. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, so the price, yeah, so it was
Yeah, the
like two
price, sorry,
ninety
yeah.
nine, $200 like stock, and it comes with like 3 games. And then I just went ahead and like I started drilling a couple of holes in it, and I stuck the little coin. I ordered the coin door for it. The coin door I think was like $30 US to
Okay.
add a coin door, and then you have to take wires from underneath to hook it up so you could put quarters in, and like it actually accepts it like a real arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've literally I've never built anything like that before, so I might have a look at getting one maybe because that'll
Yeah,
definitely be
they're
a
pretty
learning
easy.
experience.
They're pretty
Yeah.
darn easy to do. You can even order them on Amazon now, like in
Yeah.
Amazon. But yeah, they're not too bad.
That'll be cool. Yeah, I might give it a go. Yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
where I'll put it. I don't have barely any room in here, so I don't know where
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Maybe when I buy a house or something. But yeah. Um So what kind of games are you said sports games. Are you looking to get any new games? Are you looking forward to anything else that's coming out, or are you sort of happy with your games you've got now?
Right now I'm probably happy for the time being for a
Yeah.
while. I haven't seen anything that's come out that I'm looking to get for like the PS5 or anything anytime soon. So I'm just still playing the games that I have. I don't play them too often. Like I might play like maybe once a week. I'll fire up the PlayStation 5 and play Sometimes I even play my PlayStation 2 sometimes
Mm,
still,
yeah.
which is such a classic console. Can't go
I
wrong with
love
PlayStation.
PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
That's
it's so good.
yeah, that's probably the one that I have played the most in my life. Like Simpsons Hit and
Yeah.
Run on there.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Oh man.
It's
All
the
games
games
like
are
that.
just it's got like the biggest game library. It's also I think the highest, aside from the Nintendo Switch, the highest selling video game console in the world of all time, the
Really?
PlayStation 2.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I didn't know many households back in the day who didn't have a PlayStation 2 in them. Even if,
Yeah.
like my grandparents had a PlayStation 2 and they didn't even
Yeah.
play any games. They just got it just for
Yeah.
when like me and my cousins would go there. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And the
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars games as well. Jeez.
Yeah.
That caused some arguments with me and my little cousins. With it was 2 player, I think, so we'd argue over the remotes and stuff like that. Oh man, good memories.
Good
Yeah.
times. Good times.
Yeah.
Mm.
So sort of keeping with like the retro culture and stuff. You're probably gonna think I'm really weird because I've been researching and stalking you a little bit, and I saw you did a little bit of a collab talking about some of like the toys and stuff that you're sort of nostalgic for and stuff like that. You collect Funkos and
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. So tell me a bit about that because obviously you grew up in the 90s. So what sort of things were about back then?
Sure, definitely. So I think for me, it kind of like coming back to like kind of takes you back in time and things like that to like when you were, things were easier, simpler for me back then.
Mm,
So me being a big Street Fighter fan, I picked up, I think I have, oh, I have one here. I'll be right back.
okay.
I have, like, for example, so I have a couple of Funkos here, in fact. So here's one from that I still have in the box. It's a Street Fighter.
Okay. I see.
And
Yeah.
then I have this one that I took out of the box recently. It's the Ken.
Mm,
But I don't know. For me, I just think these are fun. Like kind of like a throwback to like the back being a Street Fighter fan.
mm,
But and then definitely like the toys that like my brother had, always like something that I always liked. I wish I could have had and things like that. I mean, it's
mm.
funny now because like if you go to like a retro game convention here, you'll see people still selling the toys like sealed in its original packaging, and it's going for like like crazy amounts of money. It's insane. Like
Yeah.
just to kind of see like, oh man, like imagine like saving those and like the value of them.
Mm. Yeah, no, for me it was I had a lot of like Star Wars action figures and stuff, so that's for me. I've still got them somewhere. I have like a big Millennium Falcon and all the
Ah,
boxes and stuff. So I'm betting on hopefully it'll be worth some money one day, maybe. Um,
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Actually, it's funny you mentioned the arcade kit. They sell an arcade kit for the Star Wars. I forget which game it's for, which Star Wars arcade,
yeah,
but it has like a little almost like a driving wheel sort of on
yeah.
it. I
I
have
think
to
I've
send
played
you a
that
picture
one
of that one.
I've played that one in
Yeah,
the arcade, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely take a look at those because that sounds so cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so for me it was the Star Wars action figures and then Lego as well. Like I was massive into Lego. That's actually like the thing that I started with, like around videos and stuff like that. My first video I uploaded on YouTube was like a Lego review. I was like 8 or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is my Lego, car or something." Yeah, have you seen those? People review the Lego and show the figures and stuff like that. So that's what I started with, and then
Oh
um,
yeah.
I did like stop motion animations and stuff. So that's how I kind of learned how to edit a little bit when I was young, and that sort of got me into this.
Yeah.
And actually, recently I bought a Lego set. It's on my shelf just in front of me, and it's the Mandalorian. They have the baby Yoda little guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got like a
That's
one that you can
classic
build
stuff.
like
Yeah.
this big, kind of. So I've got that up there. So I bought that. That was fun. I literally hadn't built any Lego in like I don't know, best part of 10 years maybe, and I just picked that up, and it was a fun time.
Yeah,
It took longer than expected as well. I thought I'd be a pro, but
it's
it just,
probably
yeah,
yeah.
I was a bit rusty, I must admit. Yeah. Um,
That's like more an advanced Lego building.
yeah, adults Lego. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So those are really all the questions that I have prepared. Have you got anything that you kind of want to leave it on? Any I don't know, a message for the people, any advice or anything like that? Um,
Sure.
yeah,
Good question. I had a lot of fun on here. I do plan on being more active in the next few weeks as things at my job kind of clear. I'll start posting back to Instagram.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, definitely. Everybody be safe.
yeah.
But unfortunately, here in the States, there's some parts of the States that will be remain nameless, but some people are not all responsible here, and some people are depending on where you are.
Mm,
But just to be safe out there, we'll get through it. And um, I'm looking forward to the new releases coming up for Jordan. I think the biggest one for the year is probably going to be the one in October for the black and red the Jordan ones. They're
yeah,
coming out
yeah.
in the leather. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then I'll probably go back to posting on YouTube soon, starting to do documentaries. Like I recently did a Lara Croft Tomb Raider documentary.
Okay. Is it
But that's
posted?
pretty much it. I haven't really been active like that. But
Is
yeah,
the
it's
yeah.
posted. Like I'll message you it when I
Okay.
get a
Yeah.
chance. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I haven't really been active online too much, but once things clear up at my job, I'll be more active and all that stuff. But I appreciate everything and taking the time. It was a lot of fun
No,
connecting overseas and
it
like
was
that.
honestly my pleasure. It's been one
Yeah,
of my favorite episodes to film, and it's been really insightful. So thank you. And make sure you send me those links
definitely.
to send me
Will
the
do.
Lara Croft documentary and
Yeah,
the link to the gaming rig that you can build yourself, because I definitely want to do that
sure.
when I get my new
Definitely,
place.
definitely.
It's gonna be the coolest place in town.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone's gonna be like the
Awesome.
arcade. Yeah, that's what I'll call it, the arcade. That'll be cool. Yeah,
Cool.
like I said, it's
Thank you.
been really good. Thank you very much for giving up your time. Like you said, you've been busy recently, and hopefully we'll be waiting for your return back to socials and YouTube and stuff, hopefully shortly.
Definitely. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you.
thank you. And
Uh,
yeah, and oh, one other thing. Do you want to just let the people know, maybe who don't know you, who've watched this far, your social handles, so Instagram, Twitter, just things you
yeah,
use the most.
sure. Yep. So on Twitter, it's Ninja QA. Um, and then on Instagram, I believe it's the QA Ninja on
Okay.
Instagram. And I rebranded the page as Game Entertainment because I'm trying to start doing like game documentaries and stuff like that. But that's probably gonna come a little further down the line. But yeah,
Yeah.
yep, those are my handles. Pretty much all I really use right now is Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely link some of your stuff below, and obviously if you go onto my Instagram, there'll be a link on there or something. So hopefully people will get in contact if they have any more
Definitely.
questions or want to find out more. So
Yeah,
yeah, and if you're ever working on a project, or you're making a documentary or something like that, and you want to come on and share that, or speak about something else, or you have something to share, by all means hit me up, and you're welcome to come on anytime, because it's been really fun.
definitely. That'd be awesome. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
thank you. And
All right,
yeah,
good seeing you, man.
and for anyone what still watching, thanks for sticking around. This is available on Spotify and YouTube, so make sure you go hit both of those up, share and stuff like that. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.